At 9:29 a.m. Eastern, a crowd gathered in Times Square, not for a concert, not for a movie premiere, for a stock. When A. Shotwell walked up to the NASDAQ opening bell podium, Elon Musk was 1,500 miles away in Starbase, Texas. Hundreds of SpaceX employees stood behind him. The bell rang. SPCX hit the tape at $150. It was supposed to open at $175. Early indications to trading desks showed $175. Then the order book shifted. $175 dropped to $165. Then $155. Then $150. That's where it opened. Then the retail crowd hit the buy button. The stock ripped to $176.52. Then the profit takers showed up. Close, $161.11, up 19.2% on day one. $75 billion raised. Saudi Aramco's record was $29.4 billion. At the peak, SpaceX was briefly the sixth largest company on Earth. Musk spoke on a J.P. Morgan live stream before the bell. He gave SpaceX a less than 10% chance of succeeding. He really meant it. 3 rockets exploded before one worked. He said this IPO is about a significant growth phase. 100,000 satellites. AI data centers in space. He did not mention the $4.94 billion net loss from 2025. Shotwell, in New York, said something more interesting. Quote, "I do not want to focus on quarterly earnings." She added, "We'll still do right by our investors." She is running this company for decades, not quarters. That is either very reassuring or very convenient. Depends which chair you are sitting in. Here is what most headlines skipped past. SpaceX is not just a rocket company anymore. In February 2026, SpaceX acquired xAI for $1.25 trillion. That deal brought xAI's Grok AI models into SpaceX. It brought the data centers. It brought X, formerly known as Twitter. When you buy SPCX, you're buying all of it. But xAI is also the biggest financial wildcard in this story. xAI lost $6.36 billion in 2025. In Q1 2026 alone, xAI burned 76% of all SpaceX capex. Musk said in March that xAI was not built right the first time, being rebuilt from the foundations up. With SpaceX money, that rebuild is now a public company's balance sheet problem. Starlink is the business that makes the bulls feel better. 10.3 million subscribers, EBITDA margin of 63%. That is a real profitable growing business inside the rocket company. The question is whether Starlink can carry the xAI burn rate. Now let's talk about today. Right now, June 13th. SPCX is trading at $166.85 this morning. That is up from the $161 close. The MSCI effect is beginning. MSCI tracks $15 to $20 trillion in passive money worldwide. All of it needs to hold SPCX proportional to its weight, with only 4% of shares actually available to trade. This is structural demand, price insensitive, mechanical. The formal MSCI rebalancing happens June 29th. Then Tuesday, June 16th, options on SPCX begin trading. That's when the market finally gets to express disagreement. Here is something that didn't make the SpaceX headlines. As SPCX went up, the smaller space stocks went down. Rocket Lab, Intuitive Machines, money rotated out. When the giant enters, the small players feel it. Now here is what is not happening. And it matters. The S&P 500 said no to SpaceX. On June 4th, S&P rejected the fast-track proposal. Their rules, 12-month seasoning, plus GAAP profitability. SpaceX has never turned a full-year GAAP profit. SPY, IVV investors, you're not in SPCX, not yet. Earliest possible S&P 500 inclusion, mid-2027. So what actually matters in the next 6 months? Number 1. Starlink subscriber growth in Q2 2026. Number 2. XAI capital spending trajectory. Number 3. Starship test flight cadence. Starlink had 10.3 million subscribers in the S1. That data is months old. Q2 numbers will be the first live read. If subscriber growth is slowing, the bull case shakes. XAI was 76% of total CapEx in Q1 2026. If that doesn't drop in Q2, losses pile up faster. And Starship SpaceX still needs a moon landing vehicle. NASA's Artemis program is counting on Starship this year. If Starship delivers, SpaceX's economics change completely. Here are the dates you actually need to bookmark. Late July or August 2026, first quarterly earnings. That's when insiders can sell up to 20% of their locked shares. November 2026, first publicly audited financial statements. December 2026, full lockup expires. The real supply event. December is the date that will define the whole narrative. If the stock is at $250, insiders selling won't hurt it much. If it's back at $135, every insider sell will press it lower. Here is what yesterday actually told us. The stock did exactly what big IPOs do. It spiked, it pulled back, it found a number. That number is $161. Which means optimism without euphoria. The real test is not today. It is November, when the auditors show the books, and December, when insiders can finally sell. If Starlink keeps growing and XAI finds discipline, $161 is going to look very cheap in hindsight. If XAI keeps burning and Starlink stalls, $161 is going to look very expensive. Nobody knows yet. That's the honest answer. But now you know exactly what to watch. Starlink growth, XAI spending, Starship, November, December. That is the whole game for SpaceX in 2026. That is what this channel is here for.